Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily short story. Now, before I start today's story, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this short story and any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers and at your local bookstore and local library if you requested, and you can order paperback copies from Amazon. Now, here's today's short story. I hope you enjoyed just as much as I did writing it.
Deadly Dreams. Who knew how deadly dreams could turn? Zachary Bennett had flat out loved the past 3 amazing, loving, and wonderful days in his dreams. He grinned to himself as he laid in bed with the stunning man he loved more than anything else in the world, because Kieran was finally alive, safe, and with him again. Zachary pulled Kieran's insanely fit, sexy body closer to him. The soft silk sheets were barely covering their bodies, and the bed had to be the most comfortable and supportive one he had ever had the pleasure of sleeping on. It wasn't too firm or too soft, it was just right. Kieran's large bedroom was a great touch to the dream. The thin white curtains blew in a warm breeze that wasn't there, and Zachary remembered it covered a great view of Kieran's family estate that stretched on for miles upon miles. One of Kieran's walls were covered in rows upon rows of delightful, sweet pictures of them both and Kieran's family. Everyone looked so happy in their silly poses and massive smiles and moments of non-stop laughter. It was just the kind of brilliant person Kieran was. He always made the world a better place just by being in it. The gentle breeze, Kieran's cute heartbeat, and the distant chatting of Kieran's servants were the only sounds that echoed round the large bedroom. And Zachary was happy about that. Any other sounds would have simply disturbed the peace and the moment. He would happily die before this moment ended. The dream even managed to get everything about Kieran's stunning body right. His short blonde hair that was so soft and lustrous. His wonderfully fit body that was a perfect mixture of toned and lean muscle without a gram of fat on it, and his amazing ass that Zachary was never ever going to get tired of seeing. It was even better that the bullet holes, bomb shards, and all the other debris that had killed Kieran was missing from his body. It was just brilliant to have him back safe and sound, and as loving as ever. Zachary had seriously missed the softness of his lips, the delightful hints of his manly musk, and the mind-blowing sex. The sex was just out of this world. He stroked Kieran's warm, smooth cheeks with his hands, kissed the beautiful man he loved, and he really didn't want to wake up. He smiled to himself. This really was the best few days of his life, and there was no reason to stop. Sure, he was a doctor, and he had patients to heal, diseases to diagnose, and a lot of lives to save, but Kieran had been murdered about a decade ago. Kieran had been working for a relief charity in the Middle East. The USA had bad intelligence, so they bombed Kieran's truck, and they'd never even apologized. 10 years of not seeing the man he loved. 10 years of pain and grief, and 10 years of never kissing the man he loved. He just wanted to make up for lost time, and a sweet young woman in Hell's Place offered him a chance to see Kieran again. He didn't even care that Hell's Place was a strange former council estate where people died, went missing, and other weird and twisted things happened to them every day without a second thought. A young woman was giving him the chance to see the man he loved again. He was always going to take that chance. Always. "I love you so much," Kieran said, sitting up, flexing his beautiful body and giving Zachary a schoolboy smile. Zachary's stomach filled with butterflies, his chest felt fuzzy and warm, and his head went light. Blood dripped out of Kieran's eyes. He wiped it away, but then blood gushed out of Kieran's eyes. Kieran coughed up blood. Blood gushed out of his mouth, nose, and ears like a waterfall. Zachary screamed. His chest tightened. His stomach churned violently. He held Kieran in his arms. The hot blood gushing over him. Kieran's body went limp. Kieran's skin simply slipped off, and Zachary was left holding the bones and muscles and shredded skin of the man he loved. Zachary screamed. His heart pounded. Sweat rolled down his back. Blood rained down from the ceiling. The walls gushed down blood, and the warm air tasted uncomfortably of iron from all the vaporized blood in the air. Zachary's hands shook. His chest tightened even more. A lump formed in his throat. "Well, well, well," the young woman said, appearing next to Zachary. He looked at the striking, beautiful woman in her black Gothic-like dress, her long black wavy hair, and her youthful looks. It was the same woman who promised him he could see Kieran again. What did you do?" Zachary asked. The young woman grinned. "I simply made your dream a nightmare. I killed your lover in the worst way possible. I stole all your happiness, and now I'm going to steal your life." Zachary hugged Kieran even tighter. He couldn't be dead. He couldn't lose Kieran a second time. Kieran was too brilliant, special, and loving to die yet again. He carried Kieran's corpse off the bed, placed him on the floor, and started doing CPR. Kieran couldn't be dead. Just couldn't be. The young woman laughed, shook her head, and whipped out a bright blue dagger. Zachary stopped moving at the sight of the weapon. The young woman pressed the cold tip of the blade against his forehead. "You were never going to escape this dream," the young woman said. "You were always going to die here, but I wanted to get you happy, excited, and careless. Then I wanted to steal everything from you." Zachary just stared into the cold, lifeless eyes of the young woman. She wasn't human. Her eyes were like diamonds, cold, hard, and lifeless. He wasn't sure she could even feel happiness, but she was evil. Pure evil, as far as he was concerned. "I didn't want to escape the dream," Zachary said, looking at the man he loved. "I wanted to stay here with Kieran. I wanted to love him, be with him, and make up for lost time." "Exactly," she said. "That's why you humans are so useless, sad, and pathetic. You long for things you cannot have, and that makes you easy targets." Zachary exchanged glances with Kieran and the young woman. Kieran was dead, and he hated it, and he wanted this young woman to burn in hell for what she had done. Yet he was a doctor first and foremost, and he had to save lives. He didn't know how many people she had trapped in dreams and killed, maybe 1, maybe 10, maybe 100 or 1,000. Yet he wasn't going to die without a fight, and he had to stop her. No matter the cost. He forced himself up. His knees shaking, cold sweat rolled down his forehead and back, and his hands couldn't grip anything. "Oh, really? A human thinks they can do something against me. That is a new one," the young woman said. Zachary stood up, perfectly straight. The delightful hints of Kieran's manly musk almost disarmed him, and made him want to submit to the woman over and over, just in case she gave him another few precious seconds with Kieran. He couldn't submit to her. Not again. Not ever again. "You had to be human once," Zachary said. "You look like a human, you act like a human, and yet you are now a monster. Why? Why would you mess with our dreams like you never had any yourself?" The young woman's hand gripped round the dagger. She frowned and took a step closer. "Dreams are a chance for humans to escape, to rest and dream up new beautiful worlds that are better than our reality. That doesn't make us weak. It doesn't make us easy targets. It makes us amazing." "I don't care," the young woman said. She flew forward. She leapt into the air. She swung the dagger. Zachary spun around. He tried to run away. He ran into the bed. He fell onto the bed. The young woman landed on top of him. She thrusted the dagger into his back. Zachary screamed in agony as the blade sliced through his skin, organs, and muscles. The young woman twisted the blade inside him, and pure agony flooded his body. The young woman laughed in utter delight as Zachary screamed, cried, and felt nothing but crippling pain explode out of every single cell in his body. "Sweet dreams, dead man," the young woman said as she disappeared. As Zachary laid on the bed dying, bleeding out, and making the white silk sheets a dark crimson red, he closed his eyes and imagined Kieran's stunning body a final time. He might have been dying, but he wasn't allowing the young woman to win completely. He was going to see the beautiful man he loved, who he had kissed, cried with, and treasured ever since the moment they first met. Even if it was just for a moment, he was going to see Kieran a final time. And it was beautiful.
Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.